All right, let's talk about something that's really on the cutting edge of AI interaction. It's called A2UI, and it's a technology that could totally change how we build and even think about AI applications. So let's just dive right in. So we've all seen AI write an essay, or generate some code, or even make a crazy image, right? But there's this huge gap between generating a block of text and creating a living, breathing, interactive user experience. How do you get an AI to not just tell you about an app, but to actually build it for you right there on the screen? And that question, that leads us straight to what you could call the AI interface problem. See, right now, if you ask an AI to create a user interface, you're pretty much forced into making an impossible choice. Yet, you're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. On one hand, you can have the AI give you a text-only response. It's perfectly safe, sure, but it's also boring, static, and pretty limited. The other option? You could let the AI run whatever code it wants to build a really rich UI. That's super powerful, but oh man, it opens up a huge can of worms with security risks and potential attacks. So how do you get all that power without all the danger? You need a totally new way of thinking about it, a third option. What you really need is something like a universal language for user interfaces that any AI can speak fluently. And that, my friends, is exactly what A2UI is. It's a protocol, basically a set of rules, that lets an AI agent describe an interactive UI. So instead of writing and running risky code, the AI just sends a description, like a blueprint, of the interface it wants to make. Honestly, this is the perfect way to think about it. The AI agent stops being this wildcard programmer you can't trust, and instead it becomes a designer that's speaking a common language your application already knows and understands. This one simple shift is what makes the entire system click. Okay, so this whole universal language thing sounds cool, but how does it actually fix that big problem we talked about? Well, it turns out this approach gives A2UI some pretty serious superpowers. First up, and this is a huge one, it is secure by design. The AI can only ask for UI pieces like buttons, forms, or charts that you have already pre-approved. It's sending a simple description, not a chunk of code that can do who knows what. This completely shuts down the risk of UI injection attacks, where someone could sneak in malicious code. Second, it's designed specifically for how large language models actually think. You know how they generate things token by token in a constant stream? HUI gets that. It uses a simple, streaming format that lets the AI build the interface piece by piece as it thinks of it, instead of having to create a perfect, complex file all at once. This approach is also incredibly flexible. It's a total chameleon. The agent sends out one universal A2UI description, and it just works. It doesn't care if your app is built with Angular for the web, Flutter for your phone, or React on the desktop. Your app just takes that blueprint and translates it into its own native parts. And finally, because the UI description is streamed, the experience for the user is just fantastic. You're not staring at a loading spinner. No, you actually get to watch the interface build itself out in real time as the AI is generating it. It feels, well, it feels alive. So, we've covered the what and the why, but how does it all actually fit together? Let's quickly walk through how this conversation between you, the AI, and the interface actually plays out. It's really just a simple 6-step loop. It all kicks off when you send a message. The agent then starts generating these A2UI messages that describe the interface. Those messages stream to your app, which turns them into the buttons and forms you can see. Then, when you interact with that new UI, maybe you click a button, that action gets sent right back to the agent, and the agent responds with updates, and the whole conversational dance just keeps going. And the result of this elegant little loop is, well, it's pretty magical. You get user interfaces that are created dynamically, right in the moment, tailored exactly to what you need to do. And this isn't just some theory, okay? Think about it. You could ask an AI for help with your garden, and instead of just text, it could instantly pop up a custom form asking about your soil and sunlight. Or you could ask for sales data, and instead of a boring table of numbers, you get a fully interactive chart or map you can play with. Okay, so let's zoom out for a second. This is all really cool from a tech perspective, but this is way bigger than just a neat tool for developers. This is pointing to a really fundamental shift in how we're going to work with computers. The big takeaway here is that we're moving beyond just talking at our AI in a chat window. A to AI UI makes a future possible where we're working with AI agents in a shared interactive workspace. The AI becomes a real partner, one that can build its own tools on the fly to help you get stuff done. And that leaves us with a final, really powerful question to think about. When that wall between conversation and creation just melts away, when your AI can build the exact interface you need in the very moment you need it, what does that unlock? What new things will you be able to build?